Hey y'all, we are live upon the internet. It is December the 20th, 2019. I'm excited, a little bit excited. I actually skipped a couple of days. I skipped basically this whole week and I just kind of stared off into the abyss for a while and I got lost and stuff. I don't know how affordable that is to do on the internet necessarily. I mean, at least not at the rate that I do it at, right? Got to get some stuff structured. We're going to talk about that maybe later on in this broadcast. We're going to see what we can get to tonight. In the meantime, while I'm setting up, while people are getting aware, it's a Friday evening, so they're probably getting all dressed up and ready for the broadcast right now. And so while we're getting ready, shout out to the person who just stepped up in the building. We're gonna give it some time, all right? So just so that you know, we're gonna probably start off the broadcast around 8:30. All right, you hear me? About 8:30 or 8:30 ish. If you wanna go and do something else or whatever for 10 minutes, I understand. All right. In the meantime, I'm gonna make some coffee. I feel like I'm gonna need it. All right, so I'm gonna go make some coffee and I'm gonna play some of these covers. They're breaking news. They're brand new, brand spanking new, and I think they're pretty good. So we're gonna take a listen to them. This one was just made 2 weeks ago by Mr. Kurt C. All right, we're gonna take a look at one or two of them before we get the show on the road. This is for them Smashing Pumpkins fans out there. I appreciate you. Shout out to the second person up in the building. We're gonna start the broadcast about 8:30 Central Standard Time. Hey y'all, that was my man Kurt C. Up here on YouTube. I'm gonna put a like on that. Be the first to put a like on that. How about that? Alright. Breaking news. There's a couple other covers that I was checking out earlier. I'm brewing my coffee. It's just about done. I'm gonna go and check on it right quick. I want to check out these guys. Y'all ever get down to wait? Y'all can't hear me. Y'all ever get down to some stuff like this? I don't know. I wonder about people out there if they still be moshing out to stuff like this. Y'all, this is Cult of Luna. And I see it's getting me the viewership. That Cult of Luna. I was wondering about people out there. You can call me a perv or whatever. But I dig it. I dig it. I see where they're coming from. I think it's very well done. Good rendition. Cult of Luna. I was wondering. All right, and as we already very well know, General Shepard's up in the building. You got Barb Fine up in the building as well. And I could have figured me and Barb Fine at least. Maybe a Maitre Mark out there. I know we get down to the nitty gritty like this sometimes with the jams. It gets us all hyped up. It gets us feeling some sort of way I see in the comments section, actually, shout out to General Shepard, Barfine/Barfine. Y'all, shout out to, because I actually did hear that the other day. I did hear that, the call-in. And that was directly with Alex, right? The call-in. I heard that the other night. And the thing is, I don't know if we have a clip ready with Barfine on deck with Alex Jones, but I did hear that the other night. And I was actually working at the time. Don't tell anybody, but I was listening. And I heard Barfine. I heard old Barfine. And the thing is, when you hear his voice, I think he has to understand that when you hear his voice, you know it immediately. You know who that is. He does not have to tell you who it is. I heard him, and I had a very big smile upon my face while I was working, and people didn't understand why. All right. But I did hear that. I don't know if we have a clip. And if we do, let's go ahead and check it out. The next thing that we do. The thing is, before we get out of here, I don't know if y'all were digging it. I assume that y'all were digging it. You're still around. I got a record 4 people up in the building, and I appreciate it. But the thing is, with that being said, we did some Smashing Pumpkins covers, and I think we'd be a little bit remiss not to throw this guy on. Darko Stantic. All right, I just heard it a second ago. And I think we're going to finish up with that. And then we're going to come back on. Shout out to Paul is okay-ish up in the building. And we're going to see if we can't get a clip, if there's a readily available clip of Barfine on with Alex Jones discussing some of those current events. And that's probably what we're going to start off the broadcast with. And this guy right here, Darko Stantic. I appreciate him. Man, Manchester, England. Shout out to Manchester, England. I pray for y'all out there. Some Skynyrd. Gerard, I'm up in the house. Science channels. We're gonna see if we can find that. Skynyrd. Those are too popular. This one. The killer in me is a killer in you, my love. I said it smile over you. I thought we'd check out our man, Darko Stantic. As you can see, man, these messages perforate throughout cultures and countries, and it really doesn't matter. We all come together, and I appreciate that. Very deep song. But we did have one request, and we're going to check it out. Actually, I'm kind of interested in this. It looks like a Generation Z. Looks like a Generation Z playing Simple Man by Leonard Skinner. I can only imagine, but I think we do have to check that out before we get on to business. I think that's a Z. Mama told me, oh man, when I was young, to sit beside me, my only son, and listen close Barb Fine.
You'll find a woman, and you'll find love. But don't get stuck. There is someone up above. And baby, be a simple kind of man, and be something you love not to say. And baby, be a simple kind of man. All the truth is, for me, son, if you can. And take your time for rich man's gold. All that you need now is in your soul. And you can move this way if you try. All I want for you, my son, is to be satisfied and be a simple kind of man, and be something you love not to say. And baby, be a simple kind of man. All you do is for me, son, if you can.
Wow, y'all. Sometimes you gotta play it to the end. All right. That was our man. We went ahead and liked it. That was Luke Mitchell, 79 subscribers. That's an awesome voice. And if I'm not mistaken, that is a Z. That looks like a Z to me. All right. And that was pretty dang awesome. That was pretty dang awesome. I was taken aback by that. Y'all, in a world that was going a lot better than the one that we're experiencing right now, I'd be a radio DJ, obviously, of world-class proportions, dude. I have techniques and methods and stuff like that. I would lay any DJ down in front of me, and TV and all this, billboards and stuff. They would have a reckoning. You understand? If I was a DJ in a world that was going a little bit better than this one. All right, we're going to talk about, I think a main topic we're going to talk about tonight, and also, you know, whatever it just so happens to come up in the comment section, is Donald Trump and these here Democrats. They had a Democratic debate, or whatever you call it, last night, and I want to discuss a little bit on that front, and you know, some other things, whatever comes up in the comment section before we get out of here. We got maybe an hour, something like that. In the meantime, I want to start off by this one. I actually seen this video. I want to play this pretty quick, just so that you get a taste. For those out there who have not yet heard Barb Fine, this was a video that I seen earlier, maybe on one of the other channels, and I really enjoyed it.
Hey, y'all. This
man.
is what
Oh,
CNN is. That I'm here in a bar getting drunk, and I saw this dirty ashtray. It reminds me of Nancy Pelosi and CNN, but my point is, CNN is a big giant vagina that needs a fucking abortion. Yeah, you heard me. They're a satanic fraternity of homosexuals and LGBT trash and all that. Quit shoving this shit down our throats, CNN. Fuck you.
All right, as y'all can see, we're going to very much get banned from the internet any moment now. All right, thank you, Barb Fine. I appreciate the language, but see, that's the thing about it. You know, you're going to hear Barb Fine's voice, and immediately it's going to register, and you're never, ever going to forget it, all right? And you're going to know it every time you hear it, exactly when you hear it. So I just wanted to give you a taste of that. Not only that, I mean, in a perfect world, not only would I be a DJ and stuff, playing out the jams for everybody, but Barb Fine would be a radio host of some sort, all right? But the thing is, the world can't handle it. Not yet. That's what we're figuring out. The world can't handle it. No, I mean it. That's the thing about it. Literally, the world can't handle it, and that's why it's not yet a thing. But obviously, it should be a thing. All right? I mean, we're playing with fire over here. Thing is, we did want to get to that clip. I'm not sure if we can jump straight to that clip. I know Barb was on with Alex Jones just the other night, and they were chopping it up. And it was pretty historic, all right? I appreciated it, but here's the thing. On YouTube, it's a battle right now. Just to shout out, see, this might be a different General Shepard. I know this General Shepard, there's different General Shepards here on the internet. Sometimes it gets a little bit confusing on YouTube, for those of us who still are on YouTube. And just to mention, y'all, I've been kind of on a, I guess you'd call a hiatus this week. I haven't really been doing nothing. Well, I've been doing stuff outside of the internet, getting stuff situated. I had things to do to my bike, and I did get it done, and different other stuff. I just got to let y'all know there is stuff that's in the works. All right, right now we're dealing with the stream, and you can't even see my face. You just got to take my word for it that it is me, and that we're live streaming right here Friday night up in San Antonio, Texas. All right, and all across the world. You just got to take my word for it, but we're developing some technology. I actually just got a GoPro a little while back. I got a GoPro, and that's going to enable me to do some stuff, even on location perhaps. All right, we didn't exactly have that sort of technology. Now we do. I got one of the memory sticks for it, stuff like that. We're gaining steam around here. I just want to let y'all know. In the meantime, this week I kind of stepped back a little bit. Like I've mentioned before, I've been outsourcing and diversifying, like probably everybody. I bet you every one of these people in here in the chat room and stuff. I know Paul is okay-ish is lurking up in Manchester, England. All right, it blows my mind, and I appreciate it. I pray for England all the time because honestly, if I was in England, you know where I'd want to be? Texas. All right, that's exactly where I'd want to be. All right, and I feel for y'all. But anyways, like I said, we're developing some stuff as far as technology goes. We're getting things together behind the scenes. We're going to see how that translates and stuff. I want to get y'all's opinion on some stuff. Stuff's really going down, all right? We're here to talk about a number of different things, but mainly, I guess what's on everybody's mind is the Donald Trump thing. Here's the thing. Let's see. Let's take a look at the subscriptions before we get out of here, because sometimes it is confusing as far as the General Shepards. I know that there are several channels, you know what I'm saying? And it's a constant fight against YouTube, all right? YouTube, as we can see plainly right here, cannot control what goes on YouTube. It is impossible. For the most part, it's unpoliceable. That being said, of course, there could be extremely criminal things uploaded on YouTube, and that would be a crime. All right, no matter if it's on the internet or not. People should get prosecuted and found out and investigated and stuff like that, all right? People ain't talking about that. Nobody's talking about crimes being done over the internet and, all the sort of different criminalities and stuff that can be taking place, put on the internet, and then, oh yeah, that's bad content for YouTube and stuff like that. Nobody's talking about that. Obviously, we all know that they're talking about things that you can and cannot say. And more importantly, things that you can and cannot think. All right, you can't even think these things. All right, so that's kind of what we're here to do tonight, obviously, like every other night. And talk about, I don't know if we can find, a must-see rant. Barb Fine goes on a must-see rant. I want to get a word from Barb Fine, which one of these here videos that we should play. There are 2 other General Shepards out there. Well, yeah, like I said, for those who don't know out there, who's still up on YouTube, know that I'm trying to get off of YouTube, and I have been diversifying. I do have accounts, like, for example, at BitChute. I do have an account at DLive. I do have an account at library.tv, which is, I hear about new things all the time, obviously. Basically, YouTube is imploding. And you could tell, especially when it comes to content, like, as far as political content and banter and stuff, that's really having a thing. Outside of that, people don't understand yet, but they will very soon. that YouTube is actually imploding because of all the different other videos that are besides political stuff that aren't really getting messed with too much. Meanwhile, there are like collateral damage and bystanders and people who aren't political at all who definitely get hurt by all these different legislations. Meanwhile, I haven't experienced the legislations myself. I've not been monetarized, and ever since I got on YouTube, and I'm still not and stuff. So I don't know if I got affected. And obviously, I'm live here on YouTube, and the thing is, that's kind of irresponsible by me. I had to admit, because I should be live streaming on another stream on a different platform by now. I should have been doing it this week. But the thing is, I think I'm going to be able to get around to doing it next week. All right. And I do believe it's going to be on D Live. I will give y'all some details, but maybe just jump in there all random and all willy-nilly like I do. So Ron Gibson, Kentucky Fried General, and General Bart are all different keywords that anybody could type in if they're still on YouTube. However, I do have to stress that as far as political people and stuff, people who like to talk and things of that nature on YouTube, they've all been saying, hey, we need to get off of YouTube. It's going down. Like a burning ship, all right? It's only a matter of time. It's getting kind of ridiculous. And there's probably a lot of different details that we could share about, what it is that they want to censor off of YouTube. Basically, it's everything. Basically, they're going to make it into the TV. And they're taking baby steps, all right, to do so. Meanwhile, we got all sort of different alternative technologies, all right? So let's see. Let's go to that Democratic debate. Hold on one second. We're not even going to watch it necessarily. Democrat debate. Democrat. How do you spell that? We're not going to watch it, obviously, because it's painfully boring. Those people who as Democrats and stuff out in this country, if you're from abroad like Manchester, England, I got to let y'all know, I got to stress this. The Democrats ain't even watching these debates, all right? They're boring. They're painfully boring. All right. They're talking about impeachment like here and there, they do have other stuff to talk about, but it's not very much at all. It's very boring. Of course, they're promising you stuff that does not even make sense. And what I got to stress is, you could check out, like, say, different various highlights. And you notice that most of the highlight reels are going to be like 1 minute to maybe 5 minutes, to like 2 minutes and stuff like that. Out of like 2 hours broadcasting or whatever, however long they did it. Maybe it was a little bit less. All right, but I noticed like that in certain where they published the whole thing, it was like 3 hours sometimes. Like the real time reactions, they have like pre-game and then they have a post-game as far as these debates and stuff. So they're very long-winded and they're very boring, extremely boring. But at the same time, let's see, let's turn the volume down because I don't want to even hear it. But like, obviously, when you watch these, you think the exact same thing that I think. All right, of course they're gonna play an ad, blah blah blah, stuff like that. We need CarMax in our life, desperately. Los Angeles Times. I didn't want to see any of this, but what I wanted to see was like, okay, just kind of the imagery, right? And that looks kind of weird. Obviously, like, that looks like y'all are a high school classroom full of grown-ass adults laughing and smirking and clapping and stuff like that. Who knows what y'all are doing? All right, but I don't even want to hear it. I guess they're all pre-gaming it. This is what it looks like to be on a tailgate party as far as the Democrat debate goes. Oh, man. I didn't want to see any of this, y'all. I wanted to. How long are these people talking? For an hour and a half? This guy? I've never seen this guy. And these people, wow, what could they be talking about for so long? Thing is, I just wanted, oh, man. Oh, I get it. Like, they're reacting. Oh, okay, I didn't want to see any of this. Those are real-time reactions. That's unbelievable. But, okay, let's just go to any old clip, I guess, real quick. And then you can just see the imagery and the way they do it. It's all fantastic. I gotta admit, it's very appealing visually, right? I can't really take that away from it. But when they cut away from this up-close angle and stuff, they pan around. And I don't know about y'all, but it looks so much like the Hunger Games that it gives me the willies, all right? And, of course, Andrew Yang's over here talking about who knows what. They were talking about some stuff, and I actually heard a lot of it, over half of it, before I passed out and went to sleep earlier. It was really bad. All right, basically, okay, we're not going to go into too much because, like I say, it's really bad. It's like not notable hardly. Here's what I took from it, from what I heard, and some people out there, they probably actually bit the bullet and listened to this entire debate. I suggest that you make it fast on YouTube. You know how you could change the settings? Make it to like 1.25 or maybe 1.5 if you can listen well. That way you can hear it really quick because it's all very boring. What I got to say is, as far as these Democratic people or whatever, candidates, of course, none of them stand a chance. This is for the people outside of America. None of them stand a chance, dude. Not at all. I'm even here in San Antonio, which you could consider a metropolis. You know, like as far as cities go, it's democratically ran, you know, and we have our problems. At the same time, none of these people stand a chance, dude. I've been talking to everybody. None of these people stand a damn chance. Not at all. People who ain't even political, and trust me, most people are not political here in Texas. None of them stand a chance. All right. I'm here to tell you, unless there's some like very drastic change or whatever, none of them stand a chance at all. All right. But here's what I want to say about these people. Here is what's notable, even though everything's boring about them, is that these people, they're talking and promising all these things, right? But at the same time, they're not pointing out that we are under attack. Now, we're not out here being nervous Nellies. We're not all shaking in our boots at home. We're not afraid to leave and go to work. Oh man, I gotta plug this in. We're not afraid to go out and get some money and stuff and have a life, all right? But at the same time, yeah, we're under attack. I mean, that's obvious. That's consensus. Gotta work my dang technology. Power problems. Anyways, that's consensus, y'all. Is that we are under attack, and I don't want to lose my point. Here's the thing: all these people out here, they claim that we're not under attack, all right? And if anything, they claim that we're under attack due to Donald Trump or something. We're under attack from nameless, faceless, rich people who's got all the politicians in their pockets, and they scaremonger and stuff like that. But they don't really describe the kind of under attack we're talking about. I mean, I'm sure it runs the gambit, but when we say under attack, we mean that we're being censored into oblivion on these, you know what I'm saying, these big time social media networks, obviously. And not only that, it trickles down. Obviously, people start getting banned from Uber Eats. People start getting banned from Lyft. People start getting banned from Airbnb. These are all things that I've seen recently that are documented. People are getting banned from all these things and services. All right. So that's the under attack we're talking about. Meanwhile, you notice they don't bring that up. No, not ever. They don't never bring that up. And you notice that, right? All right. So that's that. I mean, that's all you need to know. Point blank, it's like you can get caught up in all the different details and stuff like that. For example, every one of these candidates, for some reason, wants a $15 minimum wage. I don't think that I had to tell y'all that doesn't make any damn sense. Right? It's not going to help anybody. In fact, it's going to hurt everybody if that happens. And we've already seen the results of different things like that happening. Right? But, okay, they're not. See, we know we're under attack. That's regardless. These people are saying, no, we're not under attack in that way. That nobody's doing that. Nobody's censoring all of us. That nobody's being banned from Airbnbs in secret. People being banned from Buffalo Wild Wings in secret. And I mean it. Those are real things. People getting banned from Uber Eats and Lyft, you know, sometimes in secret, and they got to find out the hard way. They're not talking about that. Meanwhile, if we would go to the extreme, they're not talking about all the different ways in which say pedophiles and perverts are getting let off the hook, and all sort of different, I mean, there's different gruesome things happening. All right. They would be saying that we're under attack for sure if they weren't lying to you. All right. The thing is, they would be calling out the media, in fact, for lying. And for being basically, by definition, terrorists at this point. And of course, we're going to discuss that a little bit into this broadcast. We have several different exhibits to touch on before we get out of here. But they would be describing how we're under attack. Nothing about this, it needs to be very difficult. As far as the different policies that they throw around and different promises that they got and different free goodies that they want to promise to everybody, none of that really matters because we know that you're being disingenuous. We know this looks like the Hunger Games. Meanwhile, you don't have to be very political to see Donald Trump. All right, on the other end, we got Donald Trump, and you can get lost in all the details if you want to, and sure, there's a lot of details that are very important, all right, but just to bring our man Donald, put our man Donald so we can see his face, all right, he's over here, and the least you got to say about Donald Trump is he's saying exactly, not to the extent that we're talking about it. All right. Donald Trump is talking about, yeah, the media is fake. Yeah, they're here to criminalize you. Yeah, it is on and popping. Yeah, it is a battle. I mean, he said as much. All right. We would probably go on further to say, yeah, we're being censored off the internet in a gulag type style scenario. Everybody's being called Nazis for some reason and being thrown off the internet. All right. Meanwhile, it's, very much an infringement upon our free speech. There's certain lengths that Donald Trump does not go to, and I honestly can't blame him. He is only one man, all right? I want to stress that. Nobody's in a cult of Donald Trump around here. I don't know about y'all, but he is only one man. The thing is, he's saying all the different things that we're saying, all right? Meanwhile, none of the other people stand a chance, all right? So it doesn't have to get very political or very complicated at all. Okay. Meanwhile, it does involve every one of us being thrown under the bus. All right. I'm not sure exactly where to start tonight, but I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Point everybody's attention to a couple of videos. Let's see if I can pull it right up. Actually, they're pretty recent, so I'm gonna go to my inbox and check out to see what we got here. We got what we're looking for is Joseph Callan, one of his recent videos, but I just did notice at the top, if you can see right there, just another channel, another person that we got to take a long, hard look at, a legend in the game from what I've seen. He called out Joe Biden the other day, and we talked about it on that video, the last video that we did. All right, I want to bring up this video. I'm going to play a minute or two, all right? I think you'll be pretty interested in it, all right? And then I'll let you know about the rest of it and what's been going on with Joseph Callan, world-class reporter, as far as, the calamity. Everything here is connected, obviously. All right, so when we talk about Donald Trump and we talk about these Democrats and they have no platform at all, they do not stand a chance. You got to understand, they're getting kind of desperate. I want to paint a picture of a situation in which either Donald Trump ends up in chains or some of these here politicians end up in chains. All right, a situation where it's one or the other by the point of late next year. It's going to be one or the other regardless. There's no way that it's not going to be one of those people up in chains, up in some jail cells. All right, because, as far as Donald Trump is, of course, they haven't said exactly a crime that he's ever done. They can't really point out a crime that he's ever done. But yet and still, they've gotten this far. So for anybody out there, obviously, who says, oh, it can't be done. Yeah, it can be done. It's being done. It's already halfway there, basically. All right. So it's really kind of getting heated, and it's also very much connected, extremely connected, all right, crucially connected, all right, in a way that seems kind of indirect to these so-called mass shootings. I got to let y'all know. For example, we might touch base on it later, but there was recently a mass shooting in San Antonio. All right, just real briefly, yeah, this is breaking news. You probably hadn't heard this nowhere else. There was a mass shooting in San Antonio just a couple of nights ago. All right, and it was outside of the South Park Mall, a place where I can't even remember if I've ever been there. Maybe I've been there one time. South Park Mall, which is on the south side of San Antonio. So for those who know, that's, you already know what's going down on the south side. All right, so these people pop out of the mall and get shot up. None of them wind up dying. It's all between the ages of 17 and 41, the victims who get shot up. 4 people. None of them wind up dying, but one of them is critically hurt and shot in the stomach. All right. What's interesting is a couple days later, I've been keeping my eye on it, this particular mass shooting. And yes, by definition, that is a mass shooting. 4 people did get shot up. Okay, I'm not sure. See, okay, I've been keeping my eye on it, and I'm not sure who got shot up necessarily. I bet you that comes out. But what I also noticed is they didn't have a description of the quote between 3 or 5 different suspects that they have in mind. From the different various articles that I've been keeping up with, as far as that mass shooting, there's been no details revealed about these people. So allegedly, these people hopped out and they shot the victims, and nobody knows why they shot them, the motive of it, all right, or that's not being made public. Nobody knows the description of the 3 to 5 people who were there shooting the other folks. All right, so that description hasn't been given out, but I did see the articles, and one of the articles said, "Oh yeah, they were made. Someone spotted them getting out in a black Dodge Charger." All right, so they did note that they did have some sort of understanding. There must have been some sort of videos, but they did know there was a black Dodge Charger involved, and of course, the victims who got shot up, they're all alive, all right? So it does make you wonder. It's like, dude, does nobody know what these guys look like? Not at all. They all jumped out wearing masks and stuff and gloves and stuff. You couldn't see anything. None of these people knew what the shooters looked like at all, or knew who the shooters were at all. Yeah, that sounds questionable. That sounds extremely questionable. And so the official narrative would be just what I told you. And you'd be pretty reasonable, I think, to question it and say, that doesn't make no sense. They don't even have the slightest clue of who shot them, or y'all just not releasing the information. Why wouldn't y'all release the information? That's just to say, mass shootings are happening. I wouldn't say a lot, but I feel like they're on an upkick. They're on an upswing, these mass shootings. All right. And that being said, the great majority of these mass shootings taking place are not inside schools. All right. That's what I got to stress. Typically, they're not inside schools. All right. And so a lot of these mass shootings, some of them, we're talking about mass shooting after mass shooting that we're hearing about on the so-called news. All right, and they're bringing up certain ones. Some are in school buildings, and some are not in school buildings. But they're equally as questionable. See, they're coming down like an avalanche. It's hard to keep track of all of them. They're just happening day by day by day. Like I said, in San Antonio, just the other day, mass shooting. Meanwhile, on another note, I noticed that San Antonio was indirectly, in certain ways, tied to a couple different mass shootings that happened. One that took place in Pensacola, and the other one at Pearl Harbor. All right, and it's kind of interesting in that, San Antonio could get easily connected to those sort of things, being as it's a military city, and those are kind of like military and disturbances involving them. Anyways, a lot of mass shootings taking place, dude. I've been hearing about a lot of mass shootings. All right, like I said, most of them not taking place in school, and the ones that get selectively picked, as we can see right here, it's very questionable. Very questionable. And so the man, Joseph Callan, we're going to have to take a look at it real quick. The man, Joseph Callan, has an exhibit, and he's turning them out. Just gold, solid gold pieces. That's the thing. I got to get on it this weekend and actually see all the different videos I can download of his recently. Straight up gold. You're going to want to save these sort of things. There's a lot of people out there. There's untold amount of people out there who's making videos like this, in which they're taking all the evidence that we're given. Now, as the public, we're given certain evidence. And some of this evidence is blasted over the news. Like, you've seen a lot of this footage on televisions and stuff if you're around televisions. All right, this is looking familiar. This is public and stuff. Meanwhile, You know, when you take closer looks at things and study things, you yourself can become a detective. There's no detective fairy out here sprinkling dust on people, anointing them as magic detectives with some sort of skill and ability that we don't possess. And that's what we're noticing as a society. It used to be that all the detectives, this right here is just footage, and you can see people wandering around, and you kind of get a feel for the location, where it's going down.
Oh my goodness! I literally was just sleeping to go to work in about an hour. Inshallah, inshallah, inshallah. Inshallah, inshallah.
Person who made it out alive.
Hey, y'all, we
If
were
you
getting
had
poor
waited a split
status.
second longer, do you think he would have been shot?
They came to kill.
They came to kill.
All right, y'all. Right there, I wasn't sure exactly what we were looking at, and I still don't exactly know. That was one of the recent videos. We're going to check out, I think it's the video before that, which was a little bit more intriguing. I saw this one guy on location talking about the incident. It was the New Jersey incident. All right, I forget, what is it, Jersey City? All right, right here, I do want to mention that we just saw this video and it has some Jewish guy in it. And of course, the shooting was supposed to take place at some sort of kosher deli, from what I understand. There's only certain details that I personally know, I have to admit, because so many different things are happening, and so I'm still soaking it up like a sponge. And right there you see this Jewish guy, and I'm not going to dance around it. Obviously there's, Generation Z's as well as people from every walk of life who would look at it and say, oh, Jewish people, they're pulling a hoax and stuff, man. These Jewish people, isn't it a thing where, these shootings that are, all up on the TV and everybody's interested, they happen to have in the Jewish people. So there is that element, all right? I don't happen to agree with the element necessarily, but however, it is a weird thing that's happening. And, I think we'd be remiss to not just say, here it goes again. It's like, dude, just because the reason I want to say it is because me personally, I have no feelings against Jewish people, and I never have. All right, and I gotta wonder, across the country of America in particular, how many people, how many places can you go and people really have an animosity towards Jewish people? I might be tripping. I might be tripping because there's not so much Jewish people here in Texas or in San Antonio, for example. I'm sure we got a lot of Jewish people, but few and far between. I don't understand it, all right? But however, that's the thing, and we got to bring it up. Here's the video that I wanted to play from 2 days ago, and it's of this guy talking. I think it'd be very interested in what he's saying. Plus, there's different other footage to be analyzed outside of this guy talking. I'm going to see if I can cut right to that guy, though, because he's so interesting.
Identified as 49-year-old Miguel Douglas, 32-year-old Mindy Ferentz,
These are
mother
victims
of 5,
of this
and 24-year-old
shooting.
Moshe Deutsch, the son of prominent activist Abe Deutsch.
Since it's all very interesting, but I'm sure you've seen some of these sort of clips. I want to see this guy, because this guy was saying some stuff that was off the wall. Now, could this guy be lying? Yeah, he could be lying, but
this is exactly what happened.
But when we hear him in a second, before we hear him, I just want to say, yeah, could he be lying? Yeah, he could be lying, but it kind of falls in line with a lot of what we've been seeing. And a lot of people used to give me grief about not thinking that, say, for example, Parkland was a 100% hoax. I still don't think that it is a 100% hoax, but then again, my opinion doesn't really matter on that. What's facts is that we've been lied to, and what's facts is that it's absurd. The official narrative is absurd, right? And that is facts. I'll take that charge all day. It's like, dude, yeah, I think that. All right, was everything fake in the situation? I don't know. I really don't know. Meanwhile, in all these different other situations, there's funny stuff happening. And so I can't help but know that, yeah, there's funny stuff happening. Obviously, this is all connected somehow in some way, even though it's a very chaotic and it looks from the outside to be a very desperate attempt from what you would describe maybe as the deep state trying to hold power and trying to fearmonger over everybody and having wind-up toys all across the country, as we know that they very well do, man. Whether or not they're successful at it is another story. Okay, but we already understand that we're under attack in certain ways. Meanwhile, Donald Trump says that the media is fake and they're doing all sort of hoaxes. All right, I've heard Donald Trump say the word hoax so many times. All right, more times than I ever thought. I used to never hear the word hoax. I've heard the word hoax a million billion times in the recent history. All right, but meanwhile, okay, so we already have that outlook. This is what we've seen. We're being perpetrated against with all sort of tomfoolery, and so we know that that's what. No matter what specific incident happened here and there, we do have to study the details. That is imperative for justice. But meanwhile, we know where this game is going. And so that being said, I want to listen to this guy, and he knows where this game is going as well. All right, and he's on location.
Actually blocked off. You feel me? It was made out of, it was constructed with a window front, but the front was always covered in cardboard boxes. And this is exactly where it happened. As we see on the videos from the multiple vantage points that have been taken from here in Jersey City, we see that there was a U-Haul van parked right here with the door open, and that individuals were shooting at police officers from this location, from like based on the videos that we got. You feel me? I'm not saying that I know everything because obviously I wasn't around here, but I live literally a block or two from where the incident happened, and I ride my bike through here at 5, 6 in the morning almost every day. You feel me? I'm running through here. They're trying to make Jersey City seem like this place is fucking a war zone, when the reality is this place ain't no fucking war zone, my nigga. Jersey City, they may show you it's violent, but it's probably one of the most peaceful cities, right, that I've lived in, that I've been to, man. And this is coming from somebody that did 5 years in the Marine Corps, that deployed overseas twice, you feel me, to Afghanistan, to actual wars. Idiots, you feel me? They're just interviewing the dumbest people because they really don't want the truth getting out. This shit happened right in front of the Jewish spot. I had a young lady post something, and anybody can take my words and you feel me, and y'all can say whatever the fuck y'all want. I know myself that I am not no fucking racist or anti-Semite, but I am a person that loves the truth. And right now, a lot of lies are being fucking told. I walk into a store this morning, and you know what the fuck the Jersey City Journal says? Thugs get into a fucking gunfight with cops. This shit wasn't done by no fucking ordinary Negro, all right? This shit wasn't done by no gangs. This shit was militant, all right? What happened yesterday was militant. It was a militant action. They don't want to tell people the truth. I was really iffy about going on Facebook and posting stuff, saying rest in peace this officer, rest in peace that. But the reality is, man, I'm all about the truth. And right now, they ain't telling people shit but lies, man. I'm telling you, they ain't telling you nothing but lies. Yesterday, I saw a video. Somebody was shooting and asked the shit what's going on. And they asked him, like, yo, where's the shooting coming from? Oh, it's in the Jewish spot. They running into the Jewish spot. Yo, my nigga, this shit was militant, all right? Jewish, Hasidic Jews own 40% of Jersey City. That's 40%, my nigga. And property value up this way is just going up, all right? If they make this city look like shit, you know what's gonna happen to property value? That shit's gonna drop. You know what's gonna happen to ordinary people that can't afford to live around here? Because everybody that owns this shit is bringing up the property value. They're gonna have to sell that shit cheap, just like they did to downtown Jersey City. They gentrified the fuck out of downtown Jersey City. They're trying to gentrify the fuck out of the Greenville area. Hey, my nigga, Jersey City, wake the fuck up. You can still be educated, all right? You can become educated and still be hood as fuck if that's what you like, all right? But educate yourself, people. Get your shit together, because shit is going on around here that y'all don't even understand, man. Not even Jersey City. This shit is going on everywhere. There's a lot of shit going on in this country that y'all don't fucking understand, man. Our governments are doing things that y'all don't understand, that y'all really don't want to understand because it's too fucking scary to think about it, all right? This country is doing shit that y'all don't understand, man. They're fucking lying to us left and right. You feel me? They're manipulating information. They're brainwashing the people. You feel me? Subliminal messages and just inculcating a wrong thought process. It's all fucking bullshit. Yo, this is a movie, and the main actors are making y'all think whatever the fuck they want y'all to think, all right? This is a movie right now, all right? Life is a movie. And the people in charge, they're not really fucking good up here, right? Look, they in here shining their store and everything. Again, right? They're telling you that it happened over here, right? This is the bodega. This is the bodega. This right here is not a bodega. This is not a bodega. That was an undercover whatever the fuck they got in there, that's what it was. All right? All these stores are like this. All right? That was the only store that every day, glass covered in cardboard. All right? They're telling you an officer died. We see pictures, we don't see no body. They tell you 6 people died. We don't even see bodies or video. Hey, Jersey City is full of cameras, man.
All right, and so they have, I guess, a little public service announcement or whatever, however you call it, public announcement. I forget. I think I saw some of that actually. No, actually. Oh no, what it was is they were waiting. This is the rest of this video clip. You know, it's all subtitles. It's murmurs and mumbles and jumbles, and subtitles are written for the banter that's going on. And pretty much people are like, what the hell is going on here? This stuff's crazy and stuff. Like, this isn't how stuff goes down and things like that while they're waiting for the press conference, right? So all sort of red flags. And this guy's talking and stuff. Here's what I got to stress about this guy. Okay, let's go on both sides of the fence right now. Let's say he's lying and he's just looking for attention and he's making it up. He's making it up just like so many Americans and people across the world. They're making it up in their minds and none of it's happening and everything can be accounted for and nothing's going wrong, stuff like that. Does not matter. That's what's interesting is that even doesn't matter. What kind of matters is like this gentleman, for example, he's always going to be like popular. Like this video, I'm sure is going to get some views and stuff and it's going to be passed around. It's always going to be popular. All right. The sentiment of these people aren't to be trusted and they're doing some wild stuff and they're not telling us. That is going to be low-key, underground, always very popular. The notion, whether he was lying or not, doesn't matter. You know, it's sensational. All right. And so that's always going to exist. Now, YouTube and Facebook and all the rest, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, they are all saying, like, this can't be allowed for. We can't have people saying these things that are extremely popular and have always been popular. We can't have people saying these things on the internet. That's why we got to get rid of them and stuff. And they keep saying it. It's obvious what they're trying to do. Right? And they're already cooking up some sort of calamity is what can be insinuated. And what I wanted to point out again, I guess I want to have him say it again. All right? It was a sentiment that he said towards the end at exactly this point. And I want to just stress it's very much connected to Donald Trump.
And just inculcating a wrong thought process. It's all fucking bullshit. Yo, this is a movie. And the main actors are making y'all think whatever the fuck they want y'all to think, all right? This is a movie right now.
All right, so what he's saying right there, it's about a shooting that took place, allegedly. He's saying it's a movie, these people are actors, they just try to make you think whatever. They're trying to get you to think whatever. Meanwhile, okay, how's it connected to Donald Trump? Because Donald Trump's saying the same exact words. I've seen him time and time again say, y'all, these people, they're running stuff. It's like a movie. There's actors involved. They want to have you believe in something, and meanwhile, it's all fake news. All right, all of it. They're contraring all of it. So these people are saying the exact same thing. You know what I'm saying? Because they're on the same vibe. So it's for that reason that me personally, I don't look at Donald Trump and question him about what he knows and doesn't know about Parkland or any of these mass shootings. It is just to say they're saying the same sentiment of these people in charge, they're lying and they're bamboozling like they've always done, but they're getting to the point where they're just getting so desperate, it's getting out of hand. It's becoming very visible to even the common folk how extremely, absolutely, hypocritically criminal these Democrats are. right? These Democrats and, of course, the people who love them in the media and this, that, and so forth, that sentiment is not going nowhere, all right? It's embedded in the culture, perhaps since forever here in America. I don't know about y'all out there, but it's here to stay. They want to ban it off the internet. It's not going to work. Not at all. So that being said, and then we took a look at Donald Trump and the Democrats, for example, that's a desperate situation. Nobody with any sort of optics is looking at that situation objectively. Unless they hate Donald Trump, unless they hate their daddy, or whatever complex they have, nobody's looking at it and seeing it, you know what I'm saying? And it's not a mystery, right? The Democrats don't stand a chance. They're going to get desperate. They've been wanting the guns. They're still talking about it, all right? So it's all very much connected. And, you know, we're going to get down to the bottom of different situations, I guess, all right? We're going to kind of rapid fire. There's another video that I want to show y'all, and I think it's a pretty quick video. And it is breaking. It's very, very new. In fact, it should be in my inbox. It's from All the World's a Stage, all right? And it's actually dealing with one of the recent shootings, but it's not that. It's the one at Saugus High School. And I believe that was in California, if I'm not mistaken. If y'all recall that one, that was actually a little while back. That was a few mass shootings ago as far as that one. But it was so filled up with just questionable things. All right. It's just, you know, it's one of those that was chalked to the brim. Apparently, I'm only kind of getting a side view of it. And I forget if I've seen this video or if I've seen a different one, but let's check this one out real quick. You're kind of getting a feel for like the directive, like All the World's a Stage, and a lot of these people out here, they have exceptional directing skills and producing. You know, they make top of the line type footage, whether you agreed with it or not. Obviously rivals the stuff that is seen on the television, but it was actually this video. And I think this video will get a little bit more to the point, right, of what we want to dwell upon right here, just how fake it is. Here's another shooting. A lot of y'all probably heard of this, the Saugus High School shooting, and I've seen a lot about it, all right? And I haven't been talking about it so much, but I've been kind of taking it in. Let's check out a little bit of this video right here. This is All the World's a Stage.
I should not have to go to school and fear for my life. I go to school so I can get an education, so I can become a doctor, so I can go and pursue my dreams. I shouldn't fear for my life.
I'm
not a target. And this is unfortunately Trump's America, and it breaks my heart to know that more students have to die before we realize that this is an issue.
Blaming dead
and we need to
students
take action.
on
And
Donald
I
Trump.
vow to myself today, every day from now on, that I'm going to take action and I'm going to stand up for gun control. I should not have to go to school and fear for my life.
What's going on? What the hell?
So the sirens.
Life. I go to school so I can get an education, so I can become a doctor, so I can become a doctor, so I can become a doctor.
How dare you? 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 How dare you?
So I can become a doctor.
How dare you? How dare you?
So I can become a doctor.
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you?
I shouldn't fear for my life. I'm not a target. And this is, unfortunately, Trump's America. I shouldn't fear for my life. I shouldn't fear for my life.
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you?
So I can become a doctor.
How dare you? How dare you?
I shouldn't fear for my life. So I can become a doctor. So I can become a doctor.
How dare you? How dare you? How dare you?
So I can become a doctor. So I can become a doctor.
How dare you? How dare you?
And I vow to myself today, every day from now on, that I'm going to take action and I'm going to stand up for gun control.
You calling on me again, you tell me I won't believe what happened this time. Calling on me again, you tell me I won't believe, won't believe, won't believe, won't believe. How dare you? How dare you? How dare you? How dare you?
This is our dressing room for the girls. It's pretty spacey. There's another part down there. But yeah, we're actually doing a run through the show. Doing a run through the show. Doing a run through the show.
They're like words missing there.
Saugus High School in the Saugus High School shooting. Her grandparents live next door to
That's absolutely shocking. They're such sweet people.
That she died.
I feel so bad. You know, it's.
She died. He couldn't believe that she died. Well, he's been watching the news all day. All day, just heartbroken. And he says he just saw that girl. Saw the girl.
So you pretty much stared at the screen for about 2 students.
You need to be very precise. Absolutely. Yeah, there is no room for error.
How many were hit in all there? Did we say 8? How many students were hit?
Yeah.
Okay, and then you go, okay.
The rest of it is the shooting.
Okay, fine.
Hey, Michael, Ziggy, can you give me a mic check? I mean, not a mic check, IFB. There's something wrong with this cord. I'm going to change it out.
So, I mean, they just kind of mumble and bumble. It's some of that off-air, hot mic type stuff in which, they're making it sound very casual. As you can imagine, that was from All the World's a Stage, and I wanted to take a quick look at that. All right, to just kind of give you an insight of the things that I completely understand is going on right now. It's kind of wild and behind the scenes. All right. While we're doing that, I want to go ahead and just kind of, of course, draw attention back to the Donald Trump Democrats, this whole situation. They're desperate. They're beyond desperate. All right. Then you got a situation of uptick of all these here shootings. Sensational. They're questionable. They're beyond questionable. They're beyond. All right. You got that happening. At the same time, all sort of different wild news is being swept under the rug. For example, you have, let's see if we can go to Chrome right now. I got it bookmarked, or at least I should have it bookmarked. We're talking about, for example, something that seems unrelated is very much related. We're keeping up with Carla Faith. from out of Colorado. It's something that is gone under the radar. If you Google it right now, Carla Faith, Colorado, you are not going to get anything too recent, except for actually this here article that I got right here, right now. It's sort of breaking. It's one of the only ones, I have to say, if you Google it, it's one of the only ones that pops up that's recent. Forget what's the date on it. Take a look at this right quick. And I just wanted to point your attention to it. It's actually 23 hours ago. So we're keeping up with this. Like I said, not a lot of people are keeping up with this. The headline reads, parents of shut down daycare facilities share experiences and they fight for change. Now they're talking about Colorado. All right, and it's definitely poignant that we bring this up because it's very much connected in many more ways than I can even probably fathom right now. But for example, okay, this is a daycare in which some of y'all might be familiar. There was 26 children, all under the age of 3, kept in a secret basement in Colorado Springs, in a secret basement in an unlicensed daycare facility. All right. Now, we don't have time to read through the article, and perhaps we're going to read through it later just to get all the details and soak it up. But I did take a look through it earlier. The thing is, it's actually a very long article. And not for no reason either. They got some details up in here that are definitely worth seeing. All right, but I just want to give kind of a rundown of what I've seen. All right, the thing is, okay, as we've already discussed, Carla M. Faith, who's a mysterious lady, you only see one picture of her ever, and she looks like a leprechaun at some sort of St. Patty's Day party. All right, it's a damn joke, and she's supposed to be a daycare provider in Colorado Springs. Come to find out, she has an operation, and I'm going to cut to the chase. I'm not here for people who want to be also naive. The thing is, she had, 4 facilities, just to be very brief. 2 of them were licensed. She's running a scheme in which you have 4 facilities. 2 of them are licensed, and the other 2 are not licensed. Meanwhile, you can do like rope-a-dopes and switcheroos and this and that, and use the 2 licensed facilities that you have. All of them, the public says just commendable. In fact, just unbelievable. These daycare facilities and these preschool facilities that you got. 2 of them are licensed. 2 of them are not licensed. And that's for a reason. Some people suspect for money. It has nothing to do with money. Not at all. But yeah, that was by design. There's 2 facilities under Carla Faith in Colorado Springs recently that have been found out that were not licensed at all. And she actually had 2 facilities in that general area that were licensed. She did that for a reason. It had nothing to do with money. I'm here to tell you. All right. I feel like Sherlock Holmes on the case because so many people are looking at it and they're just not seeing it for what it is. Look, that picture, the leprechaun picture. See that? With a kid and stuff, just hanging out. But that's the only picture of her that exists in the world. I don't know why I did that. All right. So, okay. She had a secret basement full of 26 toddlers. All right. And it's by design. It was a secret basement on purpose. And it was supposed to remain low-key and whatnot. It's so much more mysterious. You go in the article and it says, it's just straight up, these people that she hired, not only was it way less people than for that amount of children, not only was this an unlicensed facility, so it didn't matter how many children she could have, they were unlicensed, and it was in a secret basement. She had employees with criminal backgrounds that they even like detail. Oh man, I don't know how it got me out of that. But they, in that particular...
This hour brought to you by GCNLife.com. Live younger.
I'm being attacked by Alex Jones, y'all. Man, I was just trying to... Oh, man. See, that's what's wrong with telephone technology, is that it'll get me in this way. And I don't know what we're looking at. But, okay. So, Carla Faith, she's running these facilities. And we're going to get back to the... Don't worry about the visual right now. All right, we're going to get back to it just as soon as I figure out what the heck that is. All right, but Carla Faith, she does this by design, right? Follow me about these children. She has them in a secret basement. Who knows what she's doing to these children? They can't speak. all sort of parents that come out and say, well, we don't know what happened to our children while they were off in a secret basement for months, because most of our children can't tell us what happened in that basement. But so they're just left to wondering, well, what the hell happened in that basement, in the secret basement of an unlicensed facility? That was all done by design. All right. But just to get a view of what it is we're talking about, why it's connected, say, Donald Trump and these mass shootings, is okay. Carla Faith was able to operate in this way, doing stuff that's very mysterious. To this day, I don't think Carla Faith is in jail to this day. The Fox 21 was saying that they were trying to call her to get a response, and they couldn't get a response. To this day, there's not been a response from Carla Faith. I want to stress that if you were an innocent person at all, in any way, in this situation, you would have already came out and spilled the beans and said how bad you are and stuff like that, because of how incriminating this whole thing looks, how mysterious it looks. You would have already came out weeks and weeks ago. But she did not. She's still in hiding. That lends to some people, leaning more towards guilty. It seems more guilty when you're hiding away. And it makes me wonder how you're not in jail if you had 26 children all up in a secret basement, and how that sounds mysterious. Who knows what you did to them down there? All right, with these employees, and you did it on purpose. These employees have extensive criminal histories. It is well documented, and you can see just by looking at them. All right, we're going to try and find the article. Let's see if we know what we're doing. I don't even know what the heck. It won't even let me do stuff. All right, let me back out of it, y'all. And then I think it'll work. Chrome, try to shut me down. All right, it's not going to work. All right, let's see if we can go back to it. Parents of this facility. And so, okay, they're saying all sort of things. And I know it's very mysterious. Okay. Here's where it all connects. All right, and this is what I want to stress. Okay, Colorado, they did not know, just I guess to say in general, about Carla Faith's history. Now, some people who dove into her history and even made accusations and allegations about her history would know that Carla Faith had done the same things, the same exact things in California in the 90s and probably into the 2000s, right? Had already done those same exact things and got caught up for those same exact things, all right? Here's what I want to stress, all right? We're going to kind of go rapid fire, but okay. Those laws that she broke in California, they were of the same nature. Very mysterious. I mean, with gaggles of children. I mean, running down alleyways. This is literally what I've seen on the topic of her in California. I mean, I'm talking about just strange behavior from Carla Faith and her associates in California. And then a decade later, she pops up in Colorado doing the same exact thing. Extremely mysterious. It has nothing to do with money. I'm here to tell you. She wasn't just trying to save money by going around licensing and stuff like that. It wasn't trying to get money in that sense. No, not at all. It's more mysterious, and it was habitual, and it's been over decades. Okay, so here's the problem. Colorado had no idea about this. So Carla Faith, she just set up shop in Colorado. They had no idea. All right, and that's what I want to stress. There was zero communication, and when you look into it, the different various articles talk about there is zero communication between states as far as daycare providers, and they're extremely negligent, if not just criminal and sometimes abusive nature towards children. Zero communication, not at all. You can go across state lines and do the same exact thing today even. And I've seen articles in which they're talking about, maybe by 2020 we'll establish some sort of communication, some sort of network in which we could actually share with each other information. Meanwhile, Carla Faith has been doing this habitually for decades, has nothing to do with money, has everything to do with putting children in secret places. And so she's been able, and I don't even think she's in jail right now. That's how wild that is. All right. For people to say, oh, yeah, we're not under attack. Yeah, we're under attack because people are just sweeping this under the rug. They're not even talking about it. And this should be the most sensational thing probably across the country right now. Not even being talked about. All right, and easily you could see that you jump across state lines and then you could do the same thing. All right, let's bring it back to these mass shootings and Donald Trump, for example. All right, if you remember back to Parkland, and they've been saying it, Dana Lash is no longer with the NRA, and I sometimes hear different various things she says, but even back then she was saying, okay, the laws we have in place right now are good, but see, we got to have better communication. She stressed that. While everyone was booing her and stuff like that, she was talking about gun safety. And I tend to agree. She was saying, there's no communication. You can go across state lines and it'd be a total mystery who you are because we don't have a network set up, and that's crucial. Without this network, people can run willy-nilly from state to state and we don't even hardly know who you are. All right, and this is why people are able to get away with all sort of things over and over again, habitually. All right, and that's where you would stress it. Now, everybody who's like anti-gun, obviously, we already see where they're coming from. But that's just another example of how they're not even concerned for safety. Because if they were concerned for safety and they were concerned for people doing whatever they want willy-nilly from state to state, just getting away with travesties, if they were, they would want a better communication network. They would have wanted it last year. They would have wanted it a long time ago. All right. And meanwhile, they're talking about, oh man, 2020, we might get it done, but we might not. We'll see. We'll see if we can get it done and establish a network of some sort of safety and security. When it comes to guns, when it comes to where you're putting your little toddlers for daycare all day long with criminals with criminal backgrounds in secret basements. All right. Like, you would definitely stress that we need a network of communication. That would be number one. And since all the people on that Democratic persuasion just want your guns, just want you disarmed, they're not even thinking about that. The fact is, if people are in danger right now, there's little children in danger right now over this, or the fact there's no communication. And meanwhile, the news doesn't even want to talk about it. And they don't want to admit, oh yeah, we're under attack. We're under attack by the dang news, all right? So we got to get out of here, all right? We're about to reach the time limit. But of course, on the further broadcast, we're going to discuss how that definitely ties to us. All right, for sure. This whole this underground mysterious child smuggling and stuff like this, the mass shootings, Donald Trump, that's all connected. It's connected to us as well. We're being incriminated just like certain other people, for example, and it's all going to be used in little different type judo moves, and in which we already see where they're coming from. Like, for example, we got to get out of here, but I want to just draw attention to this man you probably haven't heard of unless you heard of us talking about him. He's the alleged leader of Atomwaffen, which I've explained. We're going to go into further detail later. We've already kind of covered Atomwaffen. For those who don't know, a secret neo-Nazi organization that does not exist. James Mason, I believe that's his name. That's the name of some actor as well. Something. All right. This guy, I guess there's different James Masons. All right. But James Nolan Mason, he's some guy you probably never heard of until you heard me bring him up. All right. And he's a supposed leader of Atomwaffen. You might say that has nothing to do with me or you or anybody else. We don't know James Nolan Mason, this neo-Nazi guy, and his affiliation with the Atomwaffen. I'm here to say that, yeah, I've heard this guy just recently. I did some research, and yeah, I think he's definitely a racial separatist. He's definitely this and that about white people and stuff, and being, segregated and stuff like that, and just not, that whole thing. That is what he does, all right? And he's an old man now. Here's the thing. I took some time and I was doing some research. We're going to talk about him later and how he has everything to do with us. It's like, not only is the news not talking about stuff that's crucial, but they're here to incriminate us, and they're doing it right now as we speak. And they're using people like James Nolan Mason, and they're saying he's a leader of a secret made-up group called Atomwaffen. And as silly as it sounds, it even sounds silly today, I know that we're going to hear about Atomwaffen again because it is desperation that these people are operating under. Total calamity is what they're looking for. They've been setting up the pins of Atomwaffen for a while. They know nobody's never heard of Atomwaffen. They know that nobody's scared of Atomwaffen. Nobody's ever heard of it. They know that white supremacy is not a thing that's a problem, a significant problem here in America at all. It's almost unheard of in most places. All right, even the idea of it. Okay, they're going to use these guys against us, say, oh, we need to kick them off the internet. Meanwhile, I think we need to spend some extra time listening to these people out here. All right, because in America, I just got to say, we never really have taken time, because it is so laughable, to listen to these guys, the white separatists and this and that. Most of us are too mixed up for it even to qualify, all right? So we've never listened to them. I think we do need to listen to them. And what is showing me is that everybody, and the thing is, I already knew this, but everybody has the capability of saying the truth. There's not one person, to include Hillary Clinton, if you can even believe it, who's incapable of saying the truth at a certain point, if not just one point in their life. That being said, James Mason, he says a lot of things that are truthful, all right? You might say, oh, I'm a Nazi for saying that. No, it has nothing to do with me. I'm not a fan of James Mason. I'm just saying he said things during his little banters and his interviews that you can catch, some from years ago, that were truthful and are even significant today. And he's not like a stranger in saying, hey, yeah, people are attacking you. You are under attack in this nation. All right. And it's by the media. It's by this and that. They're trying to fool you and bamboozle you. And he's saying all these things, which we see today is probably true, or at least that's where we're leaning. All right. And meanwhile, we discount everything. We discount everything he said just because he says the stuff about racial segregation and stuff like that. I don't personally, I don't see where that's going. And we're going to have videos about all that in specific, as far as the fact that it's not very practical. All right. But, okay, but we need to definitely get, because when you compare this person to the person in the media and the politicians out there who are saying that we're not under attack, all right, you can see who's your real opponent at that point. All right, and this guy's going to be important. The reason we got to listen to this guy and all these other neo-Nazis out here, all right, and I'm going to stress this, we need to listen to these neo-Nazis. I don't even care who, it's like, dude, we need to draw them into the public eye, because they're going to be used against us. The neo-Nazis are being set up against us to take all of our free speech away upon the internet, all right? And so we need to somehow hear these guys and, come in contact with these guys. And people have, open-minded people have, and I think we're going to see that more and more. We need that, and it's crucial to listen to these guys, because the fact is they're going to be used against us. Now, we're going to be called Nazis. Meanwhile, we've never been Nazis, although it depends on how you look at it. I know Maytrey Mark out there is a Nazi. I get it. But in the good way, all right? It just depends on how you use the word, all right? America is never going to be socialist, so that word socialist is just not going to never happen. So I can't sign on to the Nazi thing. Obviously I don't qualify as far as this and that. All I'm saying is they're going to be used against us with a secret group called Atomwaffen. It sounds like I'm making it up and I'm just spouting out gibberish. I'm not. You're going to remember these words. And we're under attack. And they're working out of desperation. All right, I'm going to get out of here, and I thank y'all, and I appreciate y'all. I'm going to see y'all next time, and I'm going to try and get off this platform, and I'm going to let y'all know how to find me and stuff. But I want to say that, okay, we're under attack, all right? And I think they're operating out of desperation, and I don't think they have everything in control. From what I'm seeing, if they had everything in control, the way that some people allege that they do, they would be doing a much better job at fooling us and bamboozling us. But no, they're doing everything out of desperation. And you're going to see it's going to be a lot of calamity and chaos. There's probably going to be fatalities and casualties involved, all right? And then it's going to be blamed on people like the neo-Nazis, and then everybody's going to be neo-Nazis and stuff like that. We're not going to fall for it because we already know what they're going to do, all right? It's already playing in front of our eyeballs what they're going to do with this Atomwaffen. So when they bust Atomwaffen out on us, we're already going to be prepared for their BS Atomwaffen blitzkrieg that they're going to try to do on the internet. We're already going to be prepared for that. All right. We're way ahead of them. And I think Donald Trump's ahead of them as well. All right. Holler if y'all hear me in the comments. I appreciate y'all, but I got to get out of here and make a little bit of money. I'll holler at y'all. It's December the 20th, 2019, and I will keep y'all updated. I'll holla.